I ask for the truth on behalf of Arthur and Melissa Willett concerning financial issues. And I ask this in the name of truth, right conduct, peace, love and non-violence. Blessed be to the truth always. And we just cut the deck for you. Arthur and Melissa Willett. It's actually Arthur Willett and Melissa Willett, and so it's obviously a joint account there, I think. So what we'll do, we'll treat you as the couple you are, and we'll see what financially may be going on for you. Let's just pull out 3 cards. Let's see what's been going on in the recent past. The first card. We'll see what's going on now, as you would say, and then what's about to go on in the immediate future. So there are your 3 cards there. Right, so we'll pull out the first card and we'll see what's been recently going on from a financial point of view. So the meaning or interpretation of this card will be related to financial issues. So that's how it works when you ask question, when you ask a question for guidance. That's how it all ties in. You've got Spirit of Spider there, or the energy of Spider, which clearly just indicates at the moment that you've had to be meticulous, you've had to be patient, you've just had to sort of, it's been more of a waiting game, I suppose, really. I suppose a bit like the spider, where she spins her web and then just waits. You've done basically what you can do from a financial point of view. You've done everything that you can do that needs to be done. It's just more of a waiting game. I suppose really that's what maybe what it's probably about, isn't it? Why aren't things moving? Why aren't we going anywhere, or what will happen in the future? Of course, we'll see that. I mean, let's just see what's going on right now. You've got the serpent there. Notice it says there, of course, the energy of the serpent says that a sly and subtle approach is needed right now, whereas being meticulous, attention to detail over the past 3 or 4 weeks or so has been key to things. As in, you know, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, checking everything's right, and doing what you can do. You can't do any more than you can do, can you, really? Now it's more a case of, I suppose, doing things on the sly, being a bit careful, I suppose. The serpent always has the ability to move in cracks and crevices, doesn't he? Or move through cracks and crevices. I suppose the cracks and crevices of this situation that you're in, this financial situation, means that you've got to sort of go where others can't go, or try and go where others can't see you even. And of course, with a sly and subtle approach, just taking it, you know, just keeping a low profile, only answering questions that need asking if asked. You don't just go spouting out and saying what you've got, where it is and how much or whatever. It's just a case of, I'll tell you if you ask. And of course, yes, I suppose if you've got a bit of cash here and there, you can always hoard it away in a secret place so it's not seen by the bank or whatever. If there's a certain, if maybe you could end up having too much money, or you could be perceived as having too much money, and if that's the case, then it's withdrawing a bit, putting it under the mattress, or hiding it somewhere in the kitchen, or wherever. It could be anywhere. You could just there are plenty of things you can buy now, which enable you to keep things pretty safe and conspicuous, or inconspicuous then, as you would say. But of course only lets the authorities know what they legally need to know, and what you need to. And this is what the serpent is saying, really. Work through the darkness, work in the darkness, and that way you can gain by only letting on what you've got, by only declaring what you have, what you've got in the bank, of course. And this is another thing: keeping quiet, keeping silent about your affairs. Of course, that's what it's about, isn't it? A sly and subtle approach, doing it on the sly, as you would say. You've done everything you can do, from attention to detail, checking this out, checking that out. What can we do here? What can we do there? But by telling everybody what we've got and how much we spend, or what we do, gossip gets out. People gossip, people talk, and straight away, don't go. Be careful what you say to friends. I've got a funny feeling we're going to get something like a "be careful what you say" card. No, we're not. So I'm wrong. But nevertheless, it would be nice if we did. You got the element of air, and that just really means the element of air is just saying that really you should just seek a union of mind and spirit between now and this time next month. Maybe a time for seeking sacred space, to think and meditate about what you want to do with your finances. Of course, the energies of Libra, of Libra and Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius are vibrating there. So maybe that's something to do with it. I don't know. Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius are vibrating there. So you can use that magic maybe to protect your money, by maybe just sitting down sort of in silence, thinking, meditating, or if it's of course both of you discussing in private about what we do with this extra $100 that we've got under the mattress, or extra $200 or $300 we've got tucked behind that door or something. I don't know. But either way, somebody's calling, somebody wants to know what you've got, somebody wants to know what you've declared. Well, you declare what if you have to declare what you've worked for, then of course you declare it for tax purposes. But you don't tell everybody what else you've got, maybe as a contingency fund. It helps, of course, doesn't it, to 5% of your income, work out what 5% of your whole income is, and then put that away somewhere in cash. Of course, it won't gain any interest in the bank, but at least you know you've got a contingency fund if all else fails. And this is the sort of thing that a lot of people seem to miss out on. Seek a union of mind and spirit, think about it, and then that will be key to help you maybe through Christmas time as well. But of course, once you get down to your contingency fund, if you don't need your contingency fund, you leave it, and you try and get money in some other way. But of course, I'm sure you know about that, don't you? Working with darkness, you've spun the web. You've tried to set the trap, as you would say, in readiness for whatever you want to do. You've done what you can do, and of course it's just down now to you to just have a sly and subtle approach, and just to do things on the quiet, and anything you do just say nothing. It's not nothing. It's your business. I tend to call this card the Serpent, the mind your own business card, and that's what it is. It's your business. So with that, you can carry on minding your own business, and of course seeking a union of mind and spirit, of course, there, and using that Aquarius, Sagittarian and Libran energy there to help you plan maybe for the long-term future. Because remember, anything can happen between even now and tomorrow, so you can't plan for 2 or 3 years ahead like you used to be able to do, because of corrupt governments and other things that get in the way, and maybe the way society is. The way society isn't as neighbourly, isn't as helpful towards itself anymore. Not as the humanity doesn't seem to be there anymore. You can live in a street, can't you, and not know who your neighbours are. I've lived in this street, I don't know who anybody is, and I've lived here 10 years, I don't know anybody, just the odd one. And this is how it's come. This unfortunately, you have to do things yourself, keep it private, and that's what the serpent there is saying. Work with the darkness. There's nothing evil about darkness. Evil resides in darkness, of course, because it's easy, but work with darkness because there's power in darkness. Work in the shadows, in the cracks and crevices of the situation, and you'll be surprised what you discover there. So with that, as you seek a union of mind and spirit, and as you meditate in your sacred space, let us wish you the best of luck. Live long and prosper, as they say in Star Trek. And I can just about do that. I can't do it very well, but I can just sort of do that. That thing with your fingers. Anyway, less of that and more of the other. These cards now have spoken.